What is going on, everyone? My name is NW97 and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. So, instead of farming for faction tokens and getting that Graviton Lance Catalyst, I am making 4 videos this weekend because the Forsaken expansion has been released. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about it. So, if you want to check out all the videos I've made, links in the description. And I recommend you go ahead and check out the first 2 links, which is both the roadmap and the vid doc talking about the Forsaken. Lots of cool stuff there. I highly recommend you check it out. Links in the description box down below. But anyway, this video is basically going to be an overview / little commentary on what I think of the Forsaken. Okay? And I'm basically going to try to make 3 points in this video. 1, what's good about this Forsaken. 2, what's not so good, and 3, what pissed me off. I'm just being straight up, okay? There's certain things that piss me off with Destiny 2, and I just think I'm gonna try to give a solution to the problem. So yeah, is Forsaken good for Destiny 2? Yes. Do we want it? No. We need it, okay? There's a difference between wanting something and needing something, okay? You want chocolate cake, okay? But you need food, okay? You need food to actually survive. Forsaken is something that we need for Destiny 2 to survive, okay? If we don't change Destiny 2 now in its state, okay, it's gonna be dead, okay? Just being straight up with you. And fortunately, Bungie saw this a few months back, and for the past couple of months, they've been doing a lot of improvements, expansions, patch notes, all this stuff, sandbox changes, whatever. They're changing the game for the better good. Curse of Osiris was honestly kind of bad for Destiny 2. Okay, basically, Curse of Osiris was a magnifier for all the bad stuff that was going on with Destiny 2. There were certainly some issues when Destiny 2 came out. There were some things that was excellent about Destiny 2, but there were some things that were really bad about Destiny 2. For example, they got rid of a lot of the good stuff from Destiny in Destiny 2. For example, a lot of the weapon randomization rules, the slot system, that was really good. It was amazing. Now, some would say the reason why they changed it was because of Crucible balancing. And yes, Crucible balance wasn't the best at all once Destiny was finished with Age of Triumph. Bungie tried to change the Crucible and kind of affected everything else with PvE and PvP. I gotta admit, some of the stuff was actually good for the Crucible. And some of the things that they changed were extremely bad, okay? And this affected PvE as well. It basically made everything crumble down. It made everything into a skeleton of what it was supposed to be, okay? It made Crucible really, slow, and people did not like that. And then it just made PvE, more harder, and, it just didn't feel good, okay? The gameplay had reduced a lot, right? Sure, there was some new stuff about it, new abilities, which are amazing. Some of the subclasses were awesome, but they simplified everything to the point where it's just not good. And that's what was the biggest issue about Destiny, though. There were a lot of things that did not need to be changed at all, and that was the biggest issue with Destiny 2. Now, Curse of Osiris it expanded upon it. People wanted stuff fixed. Bungie knew this, but with Curse of Osiris, they say, we'll do it later. That was the biggest mistake that they ever done, okay? There were a lot of things that people got angry about, there were some things that were amazing with Curse of Osiris, Raid Lair, perfect, it was amazing, okay? A little short, but amazing, okay? The story was interesting. It was cool. There was some more lore stuff that I've learned, but then there was just some stuff that was just awful. Some of the content was just not good. There were so many ideas inside that expansion that they could have fleshed out so much. It could have been some of the best content we ever had, but it wasn't there. It was not there at all. There, like little things, like you can't ride around your Sparrow in Mercury. That was just bad. The adventures were interesting, but they were just not. They didn't give us enough of a reward, or it was no good activities we could do. And heck, like there was like a possibility of like making like a horde mode for that one of the levels, or you literally have infinite forest, or you can make any simulator that you want. Forge mode even, like my gosh, they missed an excellent opportunity on that one. Maybe they could change it in the future, but I doubt it's gonna happen again. Yeah, they had a lot of things happen. They missed an opportunity. They only magnified the problems with Destiny 2 when it came out, and a lot of problems happened after that, like outside of Destiny. People were just angry because they didn't fix a lot of the problems right away. Destiny 2 had certainly had a downfall with like Eververse because with the recent thing going on with Star Wars Battlefront in the holiday season, and because of this, people were recognizing more of the corrupt nature that is microtransactions. Yes, I am going there, guys, and it's extremely controversial. But yes, I totally agree with a lot of people who disagree with the microtransaction practices with EA. Okay, it's just terrible. Like EA is definitely one of those companies that kind of have to burn to the ground because of their practices. Like they destroy so many things, and that's why I'm kind of afraid of Anthem right now with BioWare. Though I'm a big fan, EA is in the driver's seat, and that's an issue for another time to talk about. But because of EA, it made to the issue where microtransactions were a bad issue, and like it got to the point we had like our own for the video game industry, we had our own like casino of some sort, so we get random chances, yet it's most of the time not rewarding at all, but it's only rewarding for the house. And Activision, EA, and even Activision understood this. There's certainly some games that took advantage of this. Now, in the case for Destiny 2, Eververse does have this shop where we could buy shaders, we could buy ships, we could do emotes and all that. I'm honestly surprised at how close Bungie has gotten with Eververse without exactly improving, actually trying to get loot straight out of the game, like end game loot. That's not happening, of course, but it's pretty close. It's not like we could power ourselves up by spending, currency that we get for getting Eververse stuff, but we could buy it. Like it's basically two separate currencies. Like there's the in-game currency, then we could get the outdoor or out-game currency that we could buy the exact same stuff. And people saw that as a thing where that could get very iffy, and I could see what they mean, and people seem to get that confused, right? Now, the thing about Eververse is that you can not spend a single dime on Eververse, and if you work very hard, and if you do some of the stuff that's required to get a lot of experience, to get all the Eververse stuff, you'll be able to get a whole bunch of cool accessories and all that. Or you could go ahead and spend cash and get all these type of stuff. And ever since the Battlefront thing came out, which actually Battlefront was in a much worse situation. You had the complete progression system where it made you stronger, it made you have more weapons, more really just leveling up through microtransactions. It was built upon it, right? So this was happening, and it was just not a good thing at all with Battlefront, and people absolutely despised this. Activision was just being the gluttonous slugs that they are, and getting all this money the way they're doing with all the EA sports games. And they're trying to do it with the first person shooter. well, and then like people just recognize like, what is going on with EA? Like, they've been deceiving us this entire time, and it just basically blew up in their faces. And this made other companies looked at the spotlight as well. There were some things that Activision was caught upon, basically doing some similar things to EA. Not as big, but pretty bad. Like, for example, when the Curse of Osiris came out, there was some stuff that was said that really, actually, what's funny is Bungie had said this, and then Activision was doing this. And again, you gotta like give out props to Bungie for doing this. I can't remember who did it, but you know, it was just one of those things where they did say it, and then people got pissed off about it, right? Like kind of admitting that they did it, right? So, like, there was a thing where they reduced experience, where it basically went that if you played a game, they basically stopped at a certain point where you get reduced experience depending on how much experience you get. Like, there's a cap on how much experience you get, and if you extend that cap, you get less experience. And people were pretty pissed about this. It basically encouraged you that once you get like over, like, I don't know, 10,000 experience or something like that equivalent, then yeah, you want to buy more stuff, and then it's just easier for you to get all these accessories. And yeah, people got pissed off about it. Like, you know, you have like some people like who are haters of Destiny since day one. It's like, oh, look how terrible this is. Like, look at what Destiny is doing right now. And then you have people like Crotazan, and then you have people Destiny 2 who just don't like the problems with the game ever since it came out, and then just hate the game more because of Curse of Osiris. And they're like, yeah, like Destiny's trash now because Bungie's doing all this stuff. Yeah, that's true, but the thing is, you have a practice within the video game industry where people weren't calling out on, and now it's the brand new issue with gaming, and there are some solutions going towards this. Like Battlefront did not do good with their reputation at all. EA is just blech, like, yeah. Star Wars Battlefront has certainly gotten a really big crash out of this. I feel really bad for DICE because they actually made a good game out of that, but it's just EA's, like, you know, virus just made the game really bad. And there's certainly some things about Activision that did to Destiny that kind of made it bad. Like, heck, I can even blame some of Destiny's failures with Activision because, you know, Activision wanted to rush the development really fast, you know, and you know how Bungie is. They're slow. They want to take their time, and yeah, even though they're making a lot of money, like sometimes Bungie is like, man, I just wish that Activision stops breathing down our necks, and it's just a thorn on their sides. So yeah, it just shows. Activision is just, you know, a powerhouse, kind of similar towards EA, though EA is much worse in my personal opinion. But I do see people kind of comparing the two equally. And EA has definitely done their, you know, they have a blacklist with games where it's not exactly good. But, you know, with Star Wars, with Call of Duty and all that. But there's this thing about Destiny where it got to the point where if Bungie or Activision with Destiny, if Destiny does a bad thing, everyone gets pissed off about it, and then there's like a certain part, I don't know what it is really, I can't call it the community really, but it's more like its own community where I just really call them like the Destiny knowers or something like that, like no Destiny forever, right? Like, honestly, there are a lot of cases where Bungie had messed up and people had left Destiny like forever, right? And ever since then, some of those people are like never Destiny 2, like they're never gonna play Destiny again, and they hate Destiny like within their guts, which is kind of strange because how can you, like, you shouldn't despise video games so much that you'd rather die than continue this game, right? Like, it's just silly, you know, it's a video game, you know? So, like, you have these people who want to complain about Destiny, say, look how terrible it is, Destiny is dead, it needs to die. And I admit there's problems. However, they're not giving us solutions to the problems. And that's really my biggest judgment towards them, okay? They complain about Destiny all the time, yet they don't give solutions. Fallout actually does a really good job. Fallout Plays does a really good job talking about this. Like, he recognizes that people hate Destiny just for the sake of hating it. And guess what? If you don't like the game, you don't have to play it. Just don't play it, right? Don't complain and don't give solutions. Like, I complain. In fact, I'm complaining right now with, like, Bungie. Like, they should definitely get their crap together. But I want to give solutions. And right now, Bungie has certainly been giving solutions for the past few months with, expansions and patch notes and all that. And Forsaken. Hopefully Forsaken is going to be amazing. Okay? Like, if Forsaken's bad and terrible and makes Destiny 2 that much worse, go ahead and go back to this video, comment below, and tell me how much of a Destiny pleb I am, okay? And guess what? I'll be called upon it. Bungie will fail me. It's because if Destiny 2 is bad because of Forsaken, it's Bungie's fault to make me look bad, okay? So, like, when I'm saying is, like, when you're complaining about anything, okay? Like, try to give a solution, okay? Like, I am a person that was raised by two good parents saying, if there's a problem, try to solve the solution, okay? And sometimes you can't solve the solution by yourself. You need other people to help you, right? So, try to do this. And, like, yeah, I know Bungie, like, messes up a lot. And like, it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, you shouldn't lean upon a next expansion to save Destiny. No, don't do that. Keep the game good, keep the game awesome, and don't change things that's good, okay? If it's good, you leave it the way it is. Anyway, guys, that's my opinion with Forsaken. Hopefully, it'll be an awesome expansion, and we will all enjoy it. Make sure you go ahead to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. See you next time. Goodbye.